out.
Guess not. Yeah, we did.
We got original art, but no music.
Yep.
In
Alright.
moving guys.
Shall I begin Amatire?
Oh, this has got snow. It's a winter game.
It does. Most people would say that the life in the nature is
Same
both
font.
free and beautiful. So did I once long ago. Most people are romantic fools who never went more than 2 days away from their home villages. But I did. Torvin Gillinor.
Are we a dude this time?
I whirl around, the swords already out of their sheaths, cursing myself quietly. A girl, no, a young woman, maybe 20, 25, stands in a small distance in front of me. How could she get that near without me hearing her? Have I gotten that careless? Are you Torvin Gillinor, the ranger of Western Forest and hero of the Battle of Deerleaf? Her voice is calm and confident, as if facing drawn blades were nothing out of the ordinary to her.
I don't think anything's in the ordinary.
Hero of the Battle of Deerleaf, I quickly suppress a grimace and muster her more carefully. Her bearing is alike her voice, calm and confident like a noblewoman or a princess.
Yep, that's confident. A pose. No.
And her eyes looked like they had seen and understood more than a normal woman at her age.
She's just trying to start the YMCA.
Look at those eyes. They've understood more than a normal woman her age would have. Look at the deep jade green. I sighed quietly.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but the 9/11 game was better.
Oh my god. Yes, I am Torvin Gillinor, and who are you, if I
This
might
hurts.
ask? For that matter, how did you get here? My name is Amatire.
Oh, it's named after her.
She's a major character. I watch her
She is
calmly,
the character.
waiting. She answers my look wordlessly and then finally continues. I have come to ask you to train me as a ranger. I stare
I
at
don't
her
know, you don't
stunned.
really have anything to work with.
You have no idea what the life of a ranger is. If you did, you wouldn't want to become one. I snap angrily. I doubt that, but whether it is true or false, I want to become a ranger.
Is this Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Yes.
Living in nature is not as romantic as you might think, and a hero has almost always dead people on his shoulders. I do right now. At least like 4 of them.
Where do you think the sword came in play?
The girl, Amatire, doesn't move or answers, and her
I
green
don't think
eyes
she can move.
look knowingly
That's
into
why.
mine. Alright, if she really wants to become a ranger, she will become one, even if I do not train her, and maybe I can help her to stay alive. I have better things to do than to teach fools whose heads are full of romantic
save.
nonsense how they can kill themselves in their wilderness.
We better save.
Better safe, guys. A girl named Amatire. This one, I see. I shook my head and realized I was alone.
Yes!
Many years passed since then, and my life ran its natural course.
Yes.
I still guard the wild frontiers, however hopeless and futile it is, as it is my duty. I never again let myself to be fooled by the illusions.
It's an illusion.
Amatire was an illusion the whole time. Though sometimes, late at night, I still wonder whether it was really just an imagination, that one encounter with the girl whose name was Amatire.
You could have just stabbed her.
And 5, Eternal Winter.
Oh, fuck. We have to get another 4 endings.
With a fluid motion, I sheathed the blades again.
I thought you already did that.
If that is really your wish, all right. She smiles and lets out a small sigh. Apparently she wasn't as confident as she pretended, then bowed deeply. Thank you, Master Gillinor.
I don't think she can bow.
That title is unnecessary. Yeah, her limbs would break off.
No,
The
her
title is
body would just
unnecessary.
snap in half.
Call me Gillinor or Torvin, however you like. I tell her irritated.
Comma, I tell her.
Thank you, Torvin. The girl smiles and bows. And no
No
bowing.
bowing.
When I command you to something, or not do something, I expect that you will follow it immediately and without arguing, because both our lives could depend on it, and probably will.
This person didn't have a proofreader. like the
No, they
9/11
didn't.
game.
You can tell. I see wisdom in your words and will heed them. Thank you. That
No,
thank you
don't.
was unnecessary, but at least she didn't bow this time. The last time someone bowed to me was just after we won. I quickly suppress the memory and concentrate on my new student.
Ah, my memories.
My memories. My dark past. Mysteries. Good. Good. With that out of the way, how do you want to be called? Amatire.
Princess Amatire.
Amatire, after all, that is my name. She replies quickly in a happy voice and grins. I turn around and begin to walk slowly through the snow, beckoning her to walk beside
Oh, I
me.
thought we were just gonna
Whoa.
ignore the snow. Perfect.
So is she bald?
No, she has hair behind her, see?
Okay.
Like, it's right behind her head. It's green.
Oh, okay.
You see it?
No, I don't.
Okay. It's like right by
like
her
that
neck.
tiny bit?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah,
At the top of her head.
yeah. That's her hair.
So what do you think you already know? Which skills do you believe you are already
Well, she knows how
proficient
to
in?
make the first part of the YMCA song.
I tried to like Dover and my mentor when he asked the same question of me more than 10 years ago.
I tried to like him, but I hate him.
I hate him so much. Phoenix Cheer says this better be an RPG or have a sex scene.
Don't worry. We're already at the R scenes. We're remembering shit.
Mr. Games Rules says she's so sexy.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
It's like Skyrim with stick figures.
I just appreciate
Amateur.
I just appreciate that the creator of this game didn't pander to fan service and made sure that Amateur was not a big buxom boobed babe.
I will give him that.
That was a very respectful decision, I think.
It's a very progressive game.
It is. Compared to everything else we've played.
I don't know. I think actually the 9/11 game was the best we've played.
Isn't that horrible?
Yes.
When that is the best game that we've played tonight. Oh my god.
I mean, the only girl that had any amount of boobage, actually two, was the nurse and Artie's wife.
Artie's wife. No. Though I sound far harsher than I intended, she seems to understand it, judging by her friendly smile. I'm skilled with the long sword and the bow.
You don't
though
need
not
it
so
me
much
then.
with the
We could just stop.
with the later. What?
She knows how to use a longbow and a sword. We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
No. No.
You're a ranger. Congrats.
Ranger. We don't need to train you at all. Looking at her stats again, I nod. She walks like someone who mastered at least the basics of the forms. Though I suspect that she is no stranger to the advanced ones, too. This is getting sexy. We will see what you can do with a bow later. What about knowledge of the ways of the wilderness? She drops her gaze a little. I don't know much. Her tone is somewhat reluctant, sad.
What?
Then she regains her spirit. That is what I want to learn from you. I can fight, but I do not know when I should. I can protect someone with bare steel, but avoiding the danger altogether is beyond me. Then I will teach you that, for whatever good or ill it will bring you. We both walk in silence.
I don't think
Beautiful.
she can walk.
There are many sayings. What the purpose, the meaning of the way of the ranger is. And you want to know which one is correct? She nods lightly. Well,
There is no
probably
correct one.
all of them are partly right and partly wrong. Cause no rangers completely like another, and we all have different, though familiar missions. I, for example, have dedicated myself to guarding these forests. These forests, just these ones. Helping and protecting both the humans and the animal just the one animal who live here, and making sure none of the creatures which come from
It's
the west
Rover.
leave again.
Rover is the animal.
Other rangers work to keep the balance in the more civilized parts, making sure that man does not oversee the needs of the nature, and nature does not kill man. A few also walk in the dark, lifeless places in the far west, trying to heal
Her
what is
arms
left
have
there.
to get tired eventually.
So their main mission is to act as scouts when history repeats itself. You could say that a ranger acts as warder of both nature and man, both with the steel and the wisdom, and that he may never surrender to darkness. This is some Game of Thrones shit, right? This is
It's Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings.
this is Telltale's early attempt at some dramatic fantasy storytelling.
This is actually The Walking Dead Alpha.
But if one surrenders to despair, does one not also surrender to the darkness? I freeze immediately.
Well, yeah, it's really cold.
Why do you? Before I manage to ask my confused question, my eyes spot a movement far in front of us, towards us, fast. Wolf.
Rover.
Rover, no. Rover went from the last game in here. This is what happened in the middle of that when we were searching for Rover. But if one surrenders to despair, does one not also surrender to darkness? The animal continues to charge us. Dofrin. A man who does not see the world with a clear mind, but lets his vision be impaired by despair, will see an enemy and a friend.
Stop thinking Rover's gonna kill us.
Will not seek to live, but only to survive, and in the end he will kill that which would save him.
The one animal.
Maybe 5 seconds till it reaches us. I have at least, another 3
I can
boxes full of
calculate. I
dialogue.
can.
But if one surrenders to despair, does one not also surrender to darkness? We'll see an enemy and a friend to be. Oh god,
We gotta save again.
we gotta save. She was right. I had nearly forgotten it. The wolf is not my enemy. It has never been. I know it will not kill me. It still continues to run.
We should kill it instead.
There are always more solutions than one can normally see, blinded as we are. Our eyes meet and I smiled, then the wolf passes by, looking over my shoulder.
Phew. We saved the one animal.
Saved a whole animal. She too smiled as she did before, but somehow she looked more alive, happier, and in her eyes. I jerked my head, moving forward. We should continue. It looks like there will be a snowstorm soon. Oh boy, I hope there's a slide transition again.
And Amatire just standing. But she has like a little white on her for the snow.
Yeah. Oh god, there's a cave. Oh, look at this cave. Holy shit. Seems like we arrived here just in time. Outside, the wind becomes stronger and the snow begins to fall.
Yay, we made it.
Yay! This is getting
He
ridiculous.
spelled it wrong. He spelled it Amatire.
Amatire. You can't even spell your own name right. You stupid bastard. Our philosophy. Suddenly a wolf appeared, runs towards me, and because of Amatire I suddenly recognized that the threat I felt it was made by myself. And while I was still in thoughts, Amatire had talked like Sanya, and when I looked at her I saw something in her that couldn't have been. Torvin? She prods me a little. Would
How
you tell
can
me
she?
about the Battle of Deerleaf? Amatire seems to be a little nervous. I gaze into the storm, then nod. The orcs who live beneath the
Yep,
mountains
it's Lord of
come
the Rings.
seldom out of their caves, and if they do, only in small groups, most of the time.
None of the time.
Sometimes, though, they gather in a large war party, breaking out of the caves and march pillaging eastwards. That was the case in the autumn of last year, when an entire clan left their homes and began to attack settlements in the Blue Wind Forest. We were just a group of 4. Golan the mage, Rolla a warrior, and Sadya and me. I paused, trying to concentrate and suppress unwelcome memories. Maybe I shouldn't have agreed. Shaking my head, attempting to clear it, I continue with my tale. We spotted the bulk of the clan, nearly 100 warriors, marching directly toward Deerleaf, the largest village in the forest. Deciding we couldn't do anything alone, we hurried there, alarming the villagers, who then sent the people who could not fight farther east.
Wait, but I thought the orcs came from the east.
I don't know. Already, though, the premise for this is more realistic than Then
9/11.
no, then the Hobbit Battle of Five Armies. When there's like 100 goblins, they're like, we can take them. We're like two guys. At least this is like, four people probably can't take on 100 orcs. Let's think about this. It's like, okay, little less than 30 stayed, determined to
No, it's
stop the orcs.
34.
So did we. Oh, okay, 34. I mean, 34. At least I could be like, okay, we can do like,
There's a
yeah, there's a chance.
You just have to kill 3.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 each. And if somebody's really good, get like 5, then you can.
That's why you have the mage. He can just cast fireball.
Yeah, he could just do magic missiles all over the place. We set ambushes and traps, fighting the way rangers fought for ages against the darkness, and when the orcs finally reached the village, they lost half of their strength, while we had only taken minor injuries. The following battle, well, I do not really know how I should describe it. It was as chaotic as any battle I have ever heard of. Golan threw fire in every direction.
See?
While I made sure none came near to him, I struck down the king of the orcs with my blades. After their leader died, the orcs began to panic and flee, just to be cut down by arrows. Around 90 orcs dies, and only 10 of us. I stop talking and gaze into the snowstorm. I feel Amatire's questing eyes.
That's just the gray paintbrush scribbled.
Yeah. I sigh silently and look away. Sanya was hit by an orc arrow directly through the heart while I was fighting with the king. I only heard about it afterwards. Ignoring the tears, I continue. There was nothing we could do. She was beyond our healing, so we buried her in the wilderness. As it is Ranger tradition. Ranger tradition. Feeling Amatire's hand on my shoulder, I cease talking, quietly looking into the darkness of the cave. I'm sorry, Torvin.
I miss hot dog.
Clearing I miss hot dog. Clearing my throat, I start to say something, but stay quiet when she retracts her hand. So that's why you reacted that way and tried to explain it away. Jerking my hand, I stare at Amatire. How do you know that I tried to? I can sense how you feel sometimes. Can't you too?
What?
I nod lightly. So
You should just become a wizard.
So you closed your heart because you lost Sanya, who you loved.
Better save.
Save. Yes, and I was wrong. You are a worthy friend. I apologize. You are a worthy friend.
I apologize.
Amateur looks at me questioningly, then nods slowly. I understand. Thank you, Torvan. I have to thank you. Without you, I would not have found the light again or been able to open my heart again. I doubt that. She seems to be somewhat sad, but at the same time calm and happy.
I doubt that.
What is it? She's somewhat sad, but at the same time calm and happy. The storm died down on the next day.
Well, she
Amateur
doubts
stayed
it.
with me a month, and while I was training her and afterwards we parted ways, though we still sometimes meet. The years that followed were more or less peaceful, and though I always was alone, I never again despaired. And 3, Lone Wolf.
Oh no.
We gotta get it in 4.
I tried.
I tried. I looked down. I tried. Before I can continue, I feel her hand on my shoulder again. Gazing at each other, we sit in silence. The look in her eyes is back, but this time I don't turn back, but rather embrace it. After what seemed like an eternity, we sling an arm around each other and look into the storm. And then we made love. Slowly I open my eyes, looking through the opening of the cave. The storm still continues, and according to my time sense, it was little before noon. Wow.
Sense.
My time sense. Then my gaze drops upon Amatire, who still sits beside me with our backs against the wall. I had met her just yesterday, but somehow I felt like I had known and loved her for ages.
It's Sanya.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Dude,
jeez.
finally. We're getting hot.
Guys, get your tissues ready.
Dude, I'm already doing it.
I started as soon as I saw her.
I started at the title screen. I started as soon as I saw those stick-like appendages.
I started on the 9/11 game.
Oh my god. Bowing my neck, I kiss her softly. She slowly opens her eyes and smiles. Good morning. Well, dude would be more like it because you slept that long, but good it is
Selped
indeed.
because
Whoa.
you selped that long.
It doesn't look like you had gotten up much earlier, so you don't have any right to criticize that. How do you know? I might have been awake for hours. Maybe doing something to you while you still slept. Excuse me one moment while I find the appropriate page. Oop. Philosophy.
Philosophy.
You got that
No, it's
right.
philosophy.
Oh, God. Well, then I would demand you do it now again, since I couldn't enjoy it. Whoa, we both laugh. How long has it been that I laughed about such things, or for that matter, had said such nonsense? Probably since Deerleaf. He spelled it wrong that time. Driving the thoughts away, I
He's
kiss
not
Amatire
consistent in
again.
his spelling at all.
Taking another sip of the water, I pass the bottle back to her. The storm seems to have become even stronger. For the first time
Yeah, there's
today, one
probably
of
like
us.
two more gray lines.
It's getting really intense, this storm. I think Amatire's getting a little cold there. She's a little pale. Oh, wait, she was always that way. For the first time today, one of us mentions a serious topic. Yes, but I still hope that the storm will end tomorrow, or the day after. It should
Or the day
normally.
after that, or the day after that, or the day after that.
Or maybe we can just bang in this cave for a couple of days.
The wolf will come by. Freaks.
If the gods do not will it otherwise, again, I add sarcastically. Amateur looks up from the cave entrance and looks at me. You don't like the gods? Well, it
Well,
is
yeah,
not
I'm a bit of
easy.
an atheist.
Like or dislike beings who are so immensely powerful, have such an influence over us humans, but are seemingly ignoring us the whole time. I mean, most wars between humans are the results of quarrels between one god and another one. Most catastrophes are also due to some god or another.
So he acknowledges that there's a god.
Wow. She seems to think and then slowly nods. I can see what you mean. This is getting very
That's why it's called
philosophical.
philosophy.
Philosophical.
Oh, philosophy.
Philosophy. I can see what you mean, but don't the gods also help the mortals? What about the Eversea forest? It hasn't been marred by any evil for thousands of years, thanks to a blessing. Yes, there are gods who try to help us, but they can never see it from our perspective. And we're laughing. Then not they harm more than they help. Amateur looks into the storm,
I gotta do
pondering
something real quick.
and looking somehow looking sad. I fear that you are right. Her voice becomes solemn and even more beautiful than it had been already been. Please think about this hard, my love. Wow. We I took her under my wing as a ranger, didn't kill a wolf, and then we went to a cave and now we're romantically entangled.
Well, yeah, it's the hottest romance ever.
Oh, so hot. Feeling unending love. I think I'm getting like a new fetish here. Just really badly drawn visual novels. They really get me, man. I mean,
Um,
it's the feeling behind it.
yeah, I know what you're saying. Just the philosophy behind it.
It's just the philosophy and those beautiful big green eyes, and the way that her left hand, I guess that would be left, yeah, is kind of slightly disconnected from
It's
her
like a really bad potato.
her gray one-piece suit. That's her chainmail. Feeling unending love and unlimited responsibility at the same time, I nod slowly. A world without the interference of any gods, or a world with gods, some of them who can feel like humans, some of them are the gods, you know. A world without magic, or one in which there is magic wielded by both the light and dark, for healing and for killing. A world where every deed and every atrocity is to be blamed at the mortals, or a world where the gods stand beside you. She looks directly at me. The choice is up to you. I will stay with you either way. Looking at her beautiful smiling face, I ponder. If anyone else would have asked me to decide something like that, I would have laughed at the idea and suspect that the questioner was insane. But from Amateur, it is different. Oh God. It's getting intense. The world with feeling gods. The world without gods or magic. The world with feeling gods. Gods who could feel and think like humans could guard and teach us. I feel sure in my decision and smile. The world of feeling gods, because who could really understand humans would preserve our race from making terrible mistakes and at the same time would protect us from the other gods. As it is you wish, my love. Amatire smiles brightly, and then suddenly she leans forward and kisses me. Somehow it feels different from the kisses before. Like it is more than a kiss. I can't see the human world completely alone. Not if I want to stay a god. Her voice comes from somewhere. Amatire, do you want to become my chosen, my love? Chosen? A part of me, and yet yourself. You could say it is a marriage, only between a mortal and a god, and even more intimate.
Wait, she's a god?
I guess that's the big plot twist. Amatire was a god.
What?
It's well, you know that saying, judge not the guest, because you might
Don't
impress
guess because
angels.
you might
Something.
be banging a stick god.
Always be hospitable to stick people because they may turn out to be goddesses of the
Okay, I
world.
did it. Check out my Steam profile picture.
What did you do? Oh my god! This is Chris's new profile picture, everybody. Well, I wish I could get a picture of Torfin so I could change my profile picture.
Just make it up. Keep it
Okay,
within the art style.
I'll do that. If you were not doing this for me or for yourself, you would do it for the world. Amatire, why did you ask me to become my pupil? So I wasn't sure any more about the gods myself, and I choose you because I were the best ranger that lives in your heart, even after you fell into despair. So you used me. No! I
Yes!
did not believe that myself a second anyway. I know. Yes. What? I want to become your chosen because I love you, because I believe into our vision. Then we have
What?
the same reasons for that. I know, she smiles. Back then things were simple. The
She always
triumvirate
smiles.
hadn't reared its ugly head. Lomvium had not attempted to become supreme god. The monsters
What?
from beyond still slept. They were happy times.
What
Today the
if...
devils threaten to invade our world, and it is
Probably.
probably the worst day in history. Certainly the worst I remember in my thousands. But I do not despair.
You're
Amateurs
thousands years old?
Amatire is always with me, and where Amatire is, there is hope. And in the end, where there is hope, there is life, and there will always be life. As long as we hope. And one,
What?
the chosen of hope. Okay. God without worlds. The humans may fail sometimes, but if we are allowed to grow on our own, someday we will overcome even our weaknesses. I feel sure in my decision and smile. The world without gods, because else the human race will never be able to grow on its own, learning from its own mistakes and learning to avoid them. Then it will be so, my love.
So
So
she is a god.
suddenly a bright light
Yes.
shines around her. Light shines around her before I can react. It vanishes again while Amatire stumbles. I jump forward and hold her. Amatire, are you alright? She smiles weakly. Don't worry, I'm weakened by it, but I will survive. How did you... We all could have done it the whole time, but no one attempted it. I stare at
What?
her, flabbergasted.
Wait.
What?
So she is a goddess.
You mean you are, uh, a goddess?
What?
Was. Now I'm just a ranger in training, and in love,
What?
for that matter. She giggles and I kiss her. That makes two of us for the latter. Grinning, we kiss again. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Torvin, do you remember the cave over there? Amatire, my companion, fellow ranger and wife, points at an opening nearby. Of course, that is where we
Yes,
stayed
that's where
during
we
that one
banged.
storm. Quickly kissing her, I sling an arm around her. Why do you ask? You should know that I would not forget it. Well, she giggles and then pulls me along. Whoa. And two, till death do us part. Oh
Okay,
my god.
load the... Yes, the understanding of the wild and kill the wolf.
Kill the wolf. Defending myself against an obvious attack that has nothing to do with surrendering to the darkness.
Yes!
Drawing my two broadswords from the sheaths, I
Broadswords!
make myself ready to meet the animal's charge. I understand. Amatire whispers, her voice both sad and beautiful. I do not look at her, instead concentrating on the foe. My blades meet with the wolf. Farewell. Slowly a presence near me begins to fade away. There will always be a hope for you. Her voice slowly dies, and I feel that she is gone forever. I am alone.
Yes!
The wolf and Amatire are both gone. There will always be a hope for you. Her
No, there
last words
won't.
echo in my mind again, lingering. The cold west wind refreshes. Slowly I begin to walk again.
Yes!
And
Yes!
forth through
Yes!
darkness.
I preferred end 5.
Yeah. You mean this one?
Yes.
She's just gone. That was the best ending. Wait, were we missing one?
No, we got it. End 1 is the one where you marry a goddess and you become a god. And 2 is where she becomes human.
Oh,
And 3 is I don't fucking remember.
was N3 Lone Wolf?
Yeah.
That was the one where... What even happened to that one?
You said you were friends or something.
We're called friends.
Yes. Yeah, that one. And you're like friends. And then 4th is where you kill the wolf because fuck it.
Friends.
But 5 is the best one.
Yeah, 5 was the best one. Alright, that was our 100% route of Amateur. Amazing story, beautiful art, 10 out of 10.
I got my new avatar from it.
Okay, to end this off, I'm gonna make my own avatar here. Um, I need to get a picture of Amateur. Okay,
No, you need to make one of Torvin.
no, I'm gonna use
Make your
Amateur.
own OC.
I'm gonna use her as a template, okay? I gotta use her as a
Just
template.
draw a lopsided potato.